nobodies. Um, I got my hair done today, as you can tell. It normally doesn't look like this. My wonderful hairstylist, who often actually comes here to watch my crazy videos, uh, basically likes to go and have fun and you do what you do. 'Cause of course, I got little flyaways, but there, that'll be whatever way you want. Girls and us girls in our hair. Anyway, want to talk a little bit about what I saw at Ollie's today. Hey, Dave. So I went there to check it out. There's a big toy buyout. I'm gonna do an upload of a video later of some stuff, and I'll give you a preview. They have 3.5 inch or 3 3/4 inch Ray figures from TFA, and there were a ton more, like a shit ton more. If they were all together in one section, they would take up an entire shelf of Ray, Walmart exclusive from The Last Jedi. But they also had these 6-inch figures, and I may go back and avail myself of more of. These are obviously Disney exclusive. It is, it's a Ray graveyard. It is. But these are Disney exclusive. This isn't a bad sculpt of Harrison Ford, but while we talk, I'm gonna open them. I'd never seen these before, so they gotta be. I gotta be honest. We never had a Disney store around here. Oh, yeah, I saw that. And okay, well, now he's stuck. I always like it, like the carrot. There's a reason why this was out. Okay, like the characters are gonna get away. These are pretty perfunctory, but this isn't. I mean, he comes with. His arms aren't articulate. They're kind of like the 3 3/4. The old school had Kenner, so that's not bad. You know, it's not bad. It's better than the old school Kenner, to be honest. Then we'll do Vader. I got Luke too. They did have a Stormtrooper. I should have bought him, but I didn't have the money and I had to get some other things. So, but anyway, yeah, an entire, I mean, you could have an entire, like, store of nothing but Rays from TFA, from TLJ. And then to add insult to injury from TFA, stuff that the stores couldn't sell. Unbelievable. Well, you guys know me, I wasn't shocked. So here's Vader. Hey, and these guys cost $5 a piece. These were here's his lightsaber, and they're not bad. Like I said, they're not as good as the Black Series. They're not Black Series, but they're not bad. So here's Vader. Kind of reminds me of Ralph McQuarrie, to be honest. And we do it like this, so we can actually get the saber into his hand. There. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. So there's Vader. Again, they go to Ollie's. This is what the boxes look like, and there are tons of them. There are tons of them. If you want to avail yourselves. Now I got Luke. This is not a good sculpt. Okay, I'm going to warn you guys right now. I'm not happy with this. They really went out of their way with the sculpts from the Black Series, I think, with Luke. And I don't know, I heard somewhere for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi that, here's Luke, that, okay, they're actually gonna do it correctly. A very good sculpt of Carrie Fisher in the Slave Leia outfit. In fact, they asked people for a vote, who did you want to see? People overwhelmingly said Carrie in the Slave Leia outfit, so that's what they're doing. And I think they actually called it that. Hopefully this will work. If it doesn't, well, if it doesn't, you're gonna hear some swear words. Ah, there. So we got Luke. This is not, he looks like Thomas Hayden Church from that TV show Wings. Do you remember that? Lowell Mather. That's what he looks like. Anyway, they're not bad. They're not great, but interesting little investment. I wasn't gonna buy any, and I thought, you know, I should at least attempt to save Luke and Han and get a Vader too. So I did. But yeah, I mean, go to Ollies and check out the Rays. From TFA, for crying out loud. Nice little section of 2 rows, like about 10 or 20 apiece. And you got the rest is TFA. Then on the other side, there's another whole wall, not been sold. These have been hanging there for months now. Remember the video I made? Those rays are still there. And added to that are 6-inch Black Series Jana. Okay? It is, to me, just, and I also bought a Christmas cookie cookbook, so anyway. So yeah, go and look at it. And pick up some of the OT guys. Again, if you look at the box, it says Hasbro Disney. These were probably being sold at the Disney stores. And if you remember, Disney basically closed all the stores that were outside of Disney Springs and Disneyland and Disney World. Okay, so I think these probably came from that. Tomorrow there's a realistic Vader that's going to be there, and it's kind of cool. I mean, if you go and look for him, they have him on Amazon, and he's pretty freaking cool. Okay, so I might go back and get him. I'm not sure. I would not mind having that in my repertoire. Anyway, yeah, today is the 20th. And according to Doomcock, this was the last day that they could really do anything with Kennedy's contract. And also, according to Doomcock, it is sitting on Chapek's desk, and I don't actually believe it's even on his desk. And it has been unsigned by him. And, we get to the 31st and we don't hear anything. We still have time today. 10 o'clock Eastern is right after the news gets over on the West Coast. So there might be an announcement in passing from like Deadline or whatever. Hey man, how you doing? But other than that, I really am going to be watching very closely where this all goes. Okay, I'm not worried about it. I'm not even worried really about it if she gets an extension to finish Indiana Jones. But what Doomcock said yesterday, which was intriguing, the more I thought about it, the more it made sense, is if they had signed her, there would have been a mention of it, and then Indy would have gone on a delay, and they would have blamed the strike or the thing or whatever. But Indy's being delayed, and there's really no, for a year. The Marvel stuff is only being moved back for a couple months. Indy's being delayed for a whole freaking year. Okay, that says something. Now, like I said yesterday, what does it mean? Well, on the face of it, it means it's being held back a year. The question we have to ask ourselves is why? Are the rumors true? I'm not going to go out that far because I got to say this. Erasing Harrison Ford from his favorite franchise, Indiana Jones himself, from existence, would be something that I think Kennedy's capable of. But considering how upset James Mangold is, and considering that I think Frank Marshall would put his foot down, and I'm very sure Harrison would say, "No fucking way." And I'm gonna say this: Kathleen Kennedy is not as powerful as Harrison Ford. If anybody got this movie up and running, it was him. Hey, and if they pissed him off, he might have been the one to say, hey, this is not working out. Now, I don't think he'd stand for it. I don't think that he would tolerate that crap. This is his movie, not hers. I mean, so I'm like, what exactly is this gonna, why exactly is this going on if it's not the erasing Indy from history? And it just, I think WDW Pro needs to ask the guy who told him, he needs to say, I need more evidence. I am not going public with this until I get some more evidence. Because that literally is so stupid. I can't imagine anybody thinking that up. Kennedy, maybe. But I want you to think about the other people involved. Because she's not the only one. And she's really not the one in charge. Okay? Her husband does. All right? And Mangold denies it. The guy's been maligned and attacked. And it's disgusting. Okay? And hey, guys, I'm great. And I'm sick of it. We need to wait for a trailer. Now, we're not going to get one for a while. But I will tell you this. They're still filming, and they're filming in Morocco. Okay? In fact, there's a video out there of Harrison Ford driving this little, what looks like, those cabbie things that, you see in places like Marrakesh, where the little guy drives up. I have a theory on that too. I'll and welcome to the channel. I'll talk about that too. He's driving it, and the snotty British public school girl is in the back seat, and they're being chased by some old sedan. Antonio Banderas is right there, and what looks to me like he's got a bit part. Ship's captain. Okay, maybe it's the Bantu wind. He took the Bantu wind. I don't know. But they're still filming. So what is going on here? I think maybe there might have been a hint of time travel. Or maybe it was just chock full of stupid woke shit. Or maybe it was just not a good enough script. I mean, we don't know. But erasing Indy from Indiana Jones and replacing him with that woman, again, you got to be going like this. I need more information. Are you smoking something? Now, again, I'll repeat myself. If Kennedy could do that, she might. But she's so attached to the property, I think she'd just sprinkle a bunch of woke shit. But that's just me. I mean, this, and then Cameron told me yesterday that there could be a very good explanation for this. That maybe Iger himself, or not Iger, but Chapek himself leaked this out there. Okay? And, and here's the deal. When you leak stuff, half might be true. But just enough to piss people off so the fans get outraged. Okay. Now, Harrison Ford, maybe he read it, didn't like it, saw the direction, and, I don't think he'd ever fake being hurt. But when I saw him riding his bicycle all over those cobblestoned London streets on his right arm, he's perfectly fine. After the injury, I got to ask myself, how bad was it? If you're Matt Kadish, the guy's about ready to kick the bucket. I mean, this is how stupid that this idiotic troll is. Okay. Not really. All right. He's out there riding his bicycle 2 weeks after. He's walking around without his arm in a sling. All right. I'm like, if you hurt your arm that bad. But he took a lot of time off. I don't think it didn't seem as much time as I think it was like, 3 weeks? A month maybe? But, they got to, they were doing interior shots. They were doing exterior shots on the streets in London, and he was there. They were doing other shots and then in Sicily, which he looked perfectly fine to me. And now they're in Morocco. Okay. I think the movie's going to wrap soon. But what I do think is, if he did, and that's a good theory, by the way, I could see him saying, no, this is bullshit. And it could be anything. Again, there's an article, I have it, I gotta find it. I tried to find it before and I couldn't. Where it's a GQ, oh, thank you. It's a GQ article where Ford is basically receiving a script for Indy 5 in 2017. Or earlier than that. This movie is about 6 years too late. It should have been made back then, okay? And I'm like, hey, Planet Musk. And I'm like going, at least they're making it, okay? I'm not one of these people who believes there shouldn't be one. I think a lot of people get a little emotional. And, it's like, just, you need to take a chill pill, okay? This may be really good. But there have been a ton of scripts. I mean, there's that script, and there's the one John Kasdan was working on, and now there's the Mangold one, and God knows if they're following that or not. Okay, so we don't know, but the idea that Ford might have something to do with this is very interesting to me. Okay, very interesting. And would he be up for reshoots? They might have been reshooting stuff and we don't even know right now. Oh, hey man. We're just, basically, I talked about my Ollies purchases. If you go to Ollies right now, they've got these, it looks to me, Disney Hasbro exclusive figures. And I got Han. I got Lord Vader. And, oh, shoot, sorry, dude. And I got Luke. And it looks like Thomas Hayden Church from Wings. These figures are basically large-sized, to me, they look like large-sized, ooh, he's got a hole in the back of his head. They look like large-sized, 3 3/4 inch from Kenner. But anyway, I mean, it was a big haul. And I could have got more. I probably should have got the Stormtrooper. I cannot find a 6-inch black series, just Imperial Stormtrooper. I would like several of them. Anyway, I also want the Emperor, but for my collection. But anyway, and they had another entire section of Ray's Walmart exclusives from TLJ, and a nice, neat little section of 2 rows of Ray from TFA. Please tell me how popular that character is. Okay. Anyway, and now we're talking about Kennedy's contract. I mean, it's 3:51. If we don't hear anything by 10 o'clock tonight, I'm going to call it. I'm going to say, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I honestly think that Chapek is going to let it. Oh, there was an actual stormtrooper at ours, a regular stormtrooper. I'm going to call it and saying Chapek said, we can't use you anymore. All right. Now I want to talk about the Ghostbusters Afterlife International trailer. I want you guys to see it. Because in the beginning, they show a man with a ghost trap, and he gets into an accident, and you see his silhouette. And it's Egon. It's Egon. It's not... They got a guy, and he's got the ghost trap, and it looks like he's being chased by something. And he holds it up, and it looks there's something invisible coming after him. It is the same ghost trap Phoebe finds under the floorboards in that house that the man is standing in front of. It is such a cool part of the trailer, I can't even. And Mazeres is working right now, or he'd be in here. He's like, that's not Egon. It's like, yes, it is Egon. That's Egon. That's exactly what Harold Ramis looked like when he was older, okay? He had a bushy beard and all that white hair. I mean, it's awesome. And in the poster, you see that statue of Gozer. You got Phoebe standing there, and you got the statue of Gozer behind her. And then you've got in the back Peter, Ray, and Winston in silhouette in front of the house. So cool. I'm going to say this right now. That movie is going to crush the box office. In fact, I'm making a prediction right now. It is going to be the highest grossing movie of the year. It's probably going to really, I'm going to say it's going to get more money than that propaganda film in China. This is something we've needed for a long time. And it's just going to be a blast. I cannot wait to see this. And I'm looking to go tomorrow or Friday to go see Dune. I'm not sure when, but I don't think tomorrow because I've got to take care of my horse, but maybe Friday I'll do it. But anyway, I'm like, this is everything we've needed. And when I looked at what and I think you're wrong, and I think it does. Okay, it's going to break the bank. It is just. I mean, I can't wait to see it. And I'm gonna say this. This movie coming out, and you can feel the momentum and the excitement, and just even casual people like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go see that. Because they know it's going to be a fun time. It is going to be a fun movie. You're not going to get lectured to, and it's going to respect what came before it. It fits in the canon. And it erases 2016. I think it's more than that. I think it's I think it's a middle finger to the woke folk. Because you gotta understand, people behind this are comedy people. Aykroyd, and the Reitmans, okay? If you're in comedy, you don't like woke. Because woke, you can't make fun of it. You can't have fun. You can't have a sense of humor. You look at comedians like Dave Chappelle, and then you look at comedians like Wanda Sykes. Wanda Sykes gets up there, short, nasty woman, and just bitches about everything. And she's not funny. Kathy Griffin, that woman's never been funny in her whole fucking life. Okay? And I'm like, this is the reply from the actual people behind the first movie. And I mean, you know, the fact that the people that were involved with 2016 are bitching says a lot. They know they know they didn't make a good movie. They know they didn't make a good movie. And, when it comes out and it makes, I'm going to say 100 million in the first weekend, that's how much it's going to make. That's why I actually predicted 90. And now I'm thinking 100 million. I'm like, the people at Disney are going to be watching this. Sony kicked our ass. Sony kicked Marvel's ass. Okay. Well, I don't even know what you're talking about. What does Solo have to do with it? Anyway, you think it's going to make 120? Well, hey, there you go. And I think they're going to say they did something the people who made the sequel trilogy and Doctor Who, or the sequel trilogy, did not do. They respected and honored what came before it and kept the spirit up of the first two movies. And that is why people will go see this. I think I'll probably end up seeing this twice at the theater. Because first off, from what I've heard, the third act is where it just goes crazy. And then we get the guys showing up. And I can't wait for that. I can't wait to see Bill Murray walk in with the proton pack. It's just going to be like, it's just going to be, and then they also said you have to wait because there's two things at the end. And the first one is funny. The second one you gotta watch, and I think it's probably the honor or the thing for Harold Ramis. Okay, I can't wait. I honestly, I hate wishing. My dad always said, "Don't wish, don't wish things away," and he was right. But the 19th of November can't come fast enough. It really, really can't. And by that time, we should actually have a good, positive idea of, we'll have a trailer for Boba Fett. We'll have an idea of what Kennedy's really going to do. And we'll know more. Toadster, I don't think China box office matters, considering that foreign films only get to take 25% of it back home. So I really don't think it matters. And I don't even consider them. All right? And we'll know kind of what's going on with Kennedy. I mean, And also this, and you guys are going to laugh. Cameron told me, and he mentioned it in Valiant Renegade yesterday, that apparently there's been a falling out between Kennedy and Leslie Headland, and Leslie Headland went after her. And from what it sounded like, it was alpha females challenging each other. So the Acolyte might just be canceling itself. Sounds like it. I'm like just sitting here going, now get Patty Jenkins involved, and then it'll be really funny. Because if she hit one of them with her big fat ass, she'd break them. She'd break Kennedy, because all I gotta do is look at Kennedy and think, vegan. But that's just gross, Toadster. Ugh. But anyway, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that and Ollies, and I've got video from it. I've got video from my trip. People are staring at me, and I'm like, oh, and this. Remember all those Han Solo story group comic books? They're still there. And the other Star Wars comic books are still there. Hey, old redneck nerd. Well, that actually is an interesting idea. Whoever the replacement is, and all the guys are insisting Favreau won't do it. But I look at the field of candidates, and he's the only one that could. He really is. Lin-Wen Brennan will leave with Kennedy. I don't see Chapek wanting to keep her or have her anywhere near it. I don't know if Mohsen Gupta is up to it. She's a bean counter. Is she up to running a movie studio? Okay. Does she know anything about the creative side? So I think, well, I'm going to say something. Harrison Ford is a really down-to-earth, nice guy. Chris Gore told a story about he went to a junket, a press junket in Montana, and Ford flew up himself from I can't remember the movie either, by the way, from Wyoming, Jackson, where he has about 800 acres, and they were waiting at lunch. Harrison walks up, goes to the end of the line, didn't act like he needed to be in the front, just very decent, down to earth, which is a really cool thing. Everybody who's worked with him said he's, a really generous actor. Directors say he knows his lines perfectly, and he can ad-lib. I love you, I know, there you go. And he always comes up with a different idea of shooting a scene or whatever. And, but there's a thing about him. Hey, Arla Greg, what have you heard about Kennedy since you're here? I think he's probably very politically savvy. And I think they've tolerated Kennedy, the guys have, for a long, long time. And you've got Spielberg making fun of her creative ideas. He could end up with the dog. And that's stupid. But she's Kennedy, so. And it's very interesting to me how him getting injured and production kind of slowing down. And now we've got this delay of a year release date. And it wouldn't surprise me that he either inadvertently, by tweaking that shoulder, or deciding, I think I'm going to go to Croatia for a week. Because they took a break. They took a break in mid-September. And it's very interesting to me. He was in Croatia with Allie McBoney-ass, and the cinematographer went back home to Greece. But there was a stretch of time where people were off. All right? And I thought, you know what? We're going to get screwed. We're going to get screwed. And nothing. But I found it interesting that since then he's been going gangbusters. You know, Sicily, Morocco now. It looks like they're probably even gonna wrap soon. And he's probably ready to say, okay, I'm tired. I mean, this is, you know, it's time to like. Okay, great, Oiler Greg. Was it? Give me a hint. Was it good or bad? I have to ask. But I wouldn't doubt it that, you know, he was feeling better. Oh, he was a great Jack Ryan. He really was. I mean, he was just he was, I think, what Tom Clancy saw as Jack Ryan. I mean, and what's really funny is that Meryl Streep was so, you know, taken in by his performance and as president that she actually nominated him to be Secretary of Defense. And I'm pretty sure he was like, Meryl, be quiet. All right, I can't admit. Do I have any ideas for new shows? I don't really know what that means. What new shows? But anyway, and my voice is going now because I was at the salon, and when you're at the salon, you yap with your hairstylist. It's going to be very interesting going in to this, and I do think that he might have maybe mentioned something. Thanks. Not the way I usually do it, but she goes crazy with the flat iron. Do I have any ideas for new Star Wars shows? No. I'm just waiting to see what they come out with. Just, you know. Hey, Mad Piranha, what did you think of that other story I sent you, I sent you, or that I pointed you to? I gotta finish that thing. I really, really do. But anyway, I gotta go. I'm gonna go change to get ready to work out. And I gotta go see the horse first. Oh, I would too, man. I agree, actually, there, Planet Musk. Oh, you're welcome, and go to Ollies. These aren't bad. They're a good part of the collection. At least I'm not, you know, and they had a two. Oh, they act like, no, it's not. I mean, Valiant Renegade and Cameron are right. That's not going to happen, especially with from what I gathered from Cameron was infighting between, you know, the vegan Queen Mother and Leslie Forehead. So anyway, I gotta go. So you guys have a good evening. And if anything happens, I'll be right back. Oiler Greg, let me know if you hear anything. Email me. You've got my email. And I am going to be going out to check on the horse. And I got some other stuff to do. So I'll see you guys.